Hi everyone, welcome back if you're a returning subscriber, and welcome. Thank you for being here, both returning subscribers and new viewers. This is a new channel and I'm really trying to grow it, so I'm excited to have any viewers that I get, so I'm so thankful to have you here. So I wanted to bring you a quick update on the Delphi case out of Delphi, Indiana with Richard Allen. And the reason I wanted to was because they just filed some new documents this morning, some new court docs. So we're going to go through those, and it's a cold read for me. I have no idea what's in there, so it's going to be interesting. But first, I just wanted to, in case you haven't been keeping up or just want a little overview, I'm going to let Vinny Politan from his closing arguments on Court TV give you a brief overview. It's like nice and succinct, so I'll let him talk, and then we'll get into the documents. All right, here's Vinny.
It was an unseasonably warm February day in 2017 in the small rural town of Delphi, Indiana. It's not a place where you worry when your teenage kids decide to go on an adventure. So when Abby Williams and her best friend Libby German decided to go on a hike near the Monon High Bridge in the middle of the day, no one thought it was dangerous. But when Libby and Abby did not show up when they were supposed to get picked up, their families began to worry, and they began to search. Then the next day, the worst possible news. The bodies of these two young girls were found, both victims of murder. As the investigation progressed over 5 years, there were sketches of the suspect that looked like two different people, and there was also video of the killer. Then, finally, an arrest of the accused murderer, Richard Allen. Allen says he didn't do it, and he also alleges it was a group of Odinites who were actually responsible, white nationalists practicing the ancient Nordic religion. Images of the murder scene have been sealed, but have been described in court papers and leaked online. And all this has led to more drama and more arrests in the case. Tonight, we return to the scene and bring you all the latest legal controversy as we continue our investigation.
All right, so there you have it. Oh, good, and it was a good pause. I paused right on the picture of the girls. So this is why, these are the reason why we're here. These two children, they were children, they were young girls, and unfortunately, someone or someone's unalived them over 5 years ago, and we still have a lot of questions up in the air. There was the arrest of Richard Allen. However, he, in my opinion, I don't think looked like any one of the sketches that you saw in that video. So it's very unclear as to whether he is the one who is alleged to have done these crimes. I'm trying to be careful in the way that I word things, because YouTube's algorithms, they don't like certain words that you say. If you follow any true crime shows, other true crime shows, you'll probably understand that I may have to tuck and code and not say words like the M word or the K word that has to do with people's lives being lost. So, and other words as well. So just to be clear. All right. So I'm going to hop over here now. This document, so it was filed just at 9:28 a.m. this morning. So we've got some new information. It's a motion to transfer. Okay, so it's now comes the defendant by and through his appointed counsel, Robert C. Scremin and William Labredo. If you remember, these are the new lawyers that were assigned to his case from the judge after she stripped his other attorneys from him. Or they resigned, whatever you believe. Okay. So Scremin and Libredo and hereby submits this motion to transfer and state as follows. So here's the argument. Richard Allen is currently being held in pre-trial detention at the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility at Maximum Security State Prison. A Maximum Security State Prison, sorry. After visiting with Mr. Allen at both the Westville Correctional Facility, remember he was there and he was claiming that Odinist guards were treating him very poorly and mistreating him, not feeding him, beating him, certain thing, threatening him, and making him apparently confess to his wife that he did the crimes against Liberty and Abby. Here, after visiting with Mr. Allen at both the Westville Correctional Facility and the Wabash Valley Correctional Facility, which is the new facility he's in, it is counsel's belief that 1, Mr. Allen is not being treated similar to other pretrial detainees being held in county jails. So the treatment that he's receiving is different than everyone else that is in a similar situation to him. And 2, pretrial incarceration at Wabash Valley Correctional Facility will seriously, if not fatally, impact counsel's ability to effectively represent Mr. Allen due to the distance of travel and visitation conditions. So where they moved him, it's making it even more difficult, apparently, for his attorneys to visit him, and even just traveling there, it's a farther distance, apparently. So, all right, so what are the facts? On November 3rd, 2022, the state of Indiana filed a motion on behalf of the sheriff of Carroll County asking the court to transfer Richard Allen to the custody of the Department of Corrections, claiming that due to this being a high-profile case, the Carroll County Sheriff could not adequately provide Mr. Allen with necessary security or other needs at the Carroll County Jail. All right, so this was always kind of strange in the way that he was transferred to, because it was done in secret almost. It was like he was moved in the middle of the night, and then we got the paperwork on it that he was being moved. So it was kind of like it was done secretly. All right, so Judge Diener, I think it's Diener. Hold on, my dog is messing with the camera. Sorry for the bounce. Okay. She has to get cozy and comfy next to me. All right, so where were we? Judge Diener, I think it's Diener, I don't know, without holding an evidentiary hearing on the merits, granted the state's motion and approved Richard Allen's transfer to the Department of Corrections, then recused himself from the case that same day. Mr. Allen had no opportunity to object to this transfer, and no one appeared to consider how this might negatively impact Mr. Allen's defense. So now we're finally finding out, okay, so this move, which was done kind of secretly, it wasn't Allen's choice. It's not where he wanted to go. He had no say in it. He didn't even have a chance to object to it. It was just done. And then the judge who ordered it recused himself immediately from the case that same day. So that just seems really fishy to me. I don't know. Does that make sense to you guys? Let me know in the comments what you think about that. All right, so 2, on April 5th, 2023, Mr. Allen's former counsel filed an emergency motion to modify safekeeping order, essentially a motion to transfer Mr. Allen to a county jail. I have reviewed counsel's motion, and although I lack personal knowledge to vouch for all of the allegations made as Mr. Allen's present counsel, I believe it to be a meritorious motion based upon 25 years of practicing law I agree that Mr. Allen is not being treated similar to other pretrial detainees in county jails, and that his pretrial incarceration at a distant state prison severely impacts counsel's ability to effectively communicate with Mr. Allen and effectively represent him. All right. So now we know they're not vouching for him, but these new attorneys are stating he's not being treated the same. That's what his old attorneys, Baldwin and Rosie, were saying. Rosie. So, and everybody just kind of blew it off like, oh no, that's just an excuse. But you could see it on Richard Allen when he was brought into prison. You could see like how thin he was, and he just looked scared and timid and afraid. So anyways, where were we? I believe the legal arguments made by prior counsel and add that Mr. Allen's distance from present counsel and the conditions during visitation negatively impact counsel's ability to effectively represent Mr. Allen. So again, they're saying it's too far. It's just too far, and it's not easy to see him. The prison's not making it easy to see him, whatever the visitation conditions are. All right, so number 3, on April 14th, 2023, this court denied prior counsel's motion, and Mr. Allen remains in the custody of the Department of Corrections. Okay. Number 4, on April 28th, 2023, this court received a letter written by an inmate at Westville Correctional Facility alleging that Mr. Allen was being abused and mistreated. Yes, so more further corroboration, another inmate is saying that he saw the mistreatment of Richard Allen from the guards. 5, on September 18th, 2023, prior counsel filed a motion for a Franks hearing in support of their previously filed motions to suppress. If you remember, the Franks hearing was about the Odinists and Richard Allen being mistreated in the jail that he was being housed. So, yeah, so this is all from that prior motion. Prior counsel included a 136-page memorandum with 126 confidential exhibits. The memorandum and exhibits, among other things, alleged prison guards at Westville Correctional Facility were allowed to wear patches on their official uniforms supporting Odinism, and that crime scene photos suggested a potential connection to Odinism, which is a Nordic religion and or cult that has been associated both in the prison system and in society in general with white superiority, we'll say. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. So after reviewing crime scene photos and visiting Mr. Allen at Westville Correctional Facility, present counsel believes these claims have merit, and their pretrial incarceration within the state prison system negatively impacts Mr. Allen's rights, in addition to counsel's abilities to effectively represent him. Again, they can't represent him well because of the conditions that he's in. And number 6, on October 27, 2023, this court appointed attorneys Robert C. Scremin and William Libredo to represent Richard Allen. Attorneys Scremin and Libredo both reside and maintain primary offices in Fort Wayne, Allen County, Indiana. 7, Fort Wayne is approximately 106 miles from Westville Correctional Facility and a 2-hour drive. Fort Wayne is approximately 233 miles from Wabash Correctional Facility and approximately a 3.5-hour drive without stops. So they're proving right there it is there's an extreme hardship to get to Allen just to meet with him, to represent him effectively. So counsel's most recent visit to Mr. Allen at Wabash Valley Correctional Facility was a 10-hour day. So that's a long day, and you probably were only there for a short amount of time to visit with him. But most of that was driving. That's rough. All right, so 8. On November 19, 2023, Council visited with Mr. Allen at Westville Correctional Facility. The visit was an arduous process which included lengthy travel, complicated and protracted prison security procedures, and difficult visitation conditions. So like they were saying previously, so it's not just the drive, but there are certain conditions or security procedures, measures that need to be taken that are difficult just to get through that process to go and see Richard Allen, their client. So throughout our legal consultation, Mr. Allen remained uncomfortably and unnecessarily shackled and chained in a manner resembling Hannibal Lecter. Guys, this is in an official court document. They are stating Mr. Allen remained uncomfortably and unnecessarily shackled and chained in a manner resembling Hannibal Lecter, while guards watched through glass panels and the door ajar. So he has no privacy there, it seems, even with his counsel. Mr. Allen clearly appeared intimidated by the guards and was hesitant to speak freely with counsel. So he's not even able to talk to his counsel once they do make that awful drive there. They're still watching Richard Allen very closely, the guards, and he's not really given any privacy, even when it comes to privileged conversations with his lawyers. All right, so 9. Although none of the prison guards were wearing patches in support of Odinism, one of the guards did have a symbolic face tattoo of Odin's spear and multiple hand and finger tattoos emblematic of Odinism and or Norse mythology. So that's going a total step further than just having patches on your uniform. You're actually tattooing these all over your body in places that people are going to see them, like your face and your hands. So just throwing that out there. This same prison guard had a public Facebook account that also displayed the same tattoos, in addition to a necklace with, quote, Thor's hammer, end quote, inscribed with the letters BRSRCR, an acronym for Berserker, which is a very specific type of Norse battle axe and the name given to warriors fighting in honor of Odin. All right. So other photos displayed 3 interlocking triangles, another symbol associated with Odinism. So that's that was what was on their patches, was those 3 triangles. All right, so number 10, Mr. Allen stated that Westville guards were intimidating and reluctant to provide him with shower and recreational access because it caused them extra work, and as a result, he often simply remained in his cell and went without recreational time or a shower to keep the peace. So he would just decide, I'm going to avoid my rec time or my shower time. I'll just not take a shower today because I don't want to make the guards mad and inconvenience them, because it's such an inconvenience for them to do work to let me go and do basic things like shower and have fresh air. Anyways, digress. Number 11. So on December 22nd, 2023, Council visited with Mr. Allen at Wabash Valley Correctional Facility, where Mr. Allen had recently been moved without consulting counsel. Again, remember, this was all done in secret, the move to this Wabash Valley, which is an hour and a half longer of a trip. It's a 3.5 hour drive, round trip. Okay, the round trip drive and visit took over 10 hours to complete. Access to the prison once again took nearly an hour, and several gates had to be manually cranked open as there was a power outage in a portion of the prison and doors could not be opened. How is that safe? What if there's a fire? I don't know. To me, that That seems really unsafe. But anyways. 12. Prison staff indicated they did not have any type of visitation rooms for counsel to use because they, quote, were not equipped for such matters, end quote, but had fashioned a visitation room in some sort of prep kitchen without the prison housing unit. Oh, within the prison housing unit. So he's meeting with his attorneys in a kitchen? They can't find a room for him? Okay. So counsel was informed the visitation would be monitored by video camera. How can they do that? I don't know. Okay. I don't know if that's legal. If we have any lawyers here, please tell me. All right. 13. Counsel was taken to Mr. Allen, who was locked in a prison cell located within the kitchen. The kitchen. Okay. The cell appeared to be designed as a place to feed a prisoner. The cell had a solid iron door with a small hinged iron flap approximately 8 inches high that opened just far enough to slide a food tray through. This iron flap was left open, and it was through this small opening that we were allowed to see Mr. Allen and speak with him. So they weren't even in the same room with him. They had this tiny little tray, like a little doorway that in the wall that they could talk to him, that opened up and you could slip food trays in there. All right. So a folding table was set up approximately 6 feet from the cell door with 3 chairs on the far side of the table. We were instructed to sit in the chairs and not to approach Mr. Allen or come within 6 feet of the cell door. This arrangement made it impossible to show Mr. Allen any videos or documents or discuss the case with him without raising our voices and almost shouting. So it seems like they've almost done that by design, that they set them far away so that they would have to shout, and then they could definitely hear what the guards could definitely hear what the attorneys and Richard Allen were saying to one another. It almost seems like they did that on purpose. To me, that's like, yeah, we'll sit them far away so then they have to yell at each other and then we can hear everything that they're saying. We don't want whispers. Which they should have privacy, complete privacy, no cameras. All right, so 14. In 25 years of practicing law in 5 states, including representing numerous defendants charged with murder, I have never had to conduct an in-custody legal consultation in this fashion. So this attorney who's filing this is stating, I've been around the block, especially when it comes to cases like this, and I've never seen this before, and I've never had to do this before for another defendant, or another client. The prison's visitation arrangement created an environment wherein effectively representing Mr. Allen was a fiction, so it's just impossible to represent him here. 15. Mr. Allen stated that in the 2 weeks that he had been at Wabash Valley Correctional Facility, he had not received or even been offered any recreational time, and he believed he had taken 1, possibly 2 showers, and he had not been allowed outside in the prison yard, although other inmates enjoyed outdoor recreation. It seems like they've stripped him not just of his rights, but just of human decency, of being able to shower, to bathe yourself, to not sit in your own filth. I mean, or to go outside and see the sun, see some fresh air. Or get some fresh air. I should say, not see it, see the fresh air. But anyways, so conclusion. In 25 years of practicing law, I have never had to conduct an in-custody legal visit in the manner I have with Mr. Allen. I routinely conduct legal visits within the jails in Allen, Adams, Huntington, Rudolph, and Wells counties, including consultations with numerous clients charged with murder. There is never a guard present during the consultation, and there is never audio or video equipment recording the visit. So just making that clear. He is emphasizing never with italics, because out of 25 years of practice, he's never been in this situation. All right, so my clients are never shackled, handcuffed, or chained during visits. These are clearly state prison policies, not county jail policies. I am often able to simply sit at a table with my client and have a conversation, but at the very least, I am able to sit directly across from my client and speak through a large plexiglass partition where we can view videos and documents. County jails routinely, dare I say daily, have lawyers visiting pretrial detainees, and as such, county jails have rooms specifically designed for attorney visits. They should. They absolutely should have these rooms. County jails also have a streamlined access protocol for defense attorneys that often takes no more than a minute or two, as opposed to an hour, and laptops, phones, and tablets are routinely allowed during attorney visits with no special requests. County jail visits with clients can even be set up the same day. So they're saying, like, it's super easy to get into a county jail, but by putting him in this, that Westville, I'm sorry, no, he was in Westville, now he's in the other one. I can't think of it, doesn't matter. Now he's in the other one. They're not county jails, they're more state facilities. So he is not able to get in there and access his client like he should, because in a county jail you can access them pretty much anytime when you need to, and you have free reign to talk to them and share your evidence and talk to them about strategy and be free from spying eyes and ears. So anyways, clients in county jails are extremely accessible, and multiple visits can be quickly and efficiently made when legal issues arise. So again, he's just reiterating, a county jail would be a much better place for Alan right now as we prepare for trial. Based upon counsel's observations and experience, Mr. Allen is not being treated similar to other pretrial detainees being held in county jails. However, even if this court were to find that Mr. Allen's pretrial treatment within the state prison system does not, if in itself, justify moving him to a county jail, evidence is absolutely overwhelming that pretrial detainment at Wabash Valley Correctional Facility, that's where he's housed now, will seriously, if not fatally, impact counsel's ability to effectively represent Mr. Allen due to the sheer distance of travel and the unworkable visitation conditions. Counsel for Mr. Allen respectfully requests that he be transferred to either the Allen County Jail or the Adams County Jail. So those must be, since they're county jails, they'll be more accessible. They can access their client much easier. I don't know where they are in relation to the attorneys, but I would assume, or I would hope, that it's less than a 3.5 hour drive. That's rough, a 3.5 hour drive. Anyways, yes, so what do you guys think about that? That's really all that he has to say in this motion. This was signed respectfully Robert C. Scrumman, attorney for defendant Richard Allen. Also, what do you guys think about, I want to know your opinion regarding Allen's his previous attorneys. Do you think that they might be reinstated? Maybe Rozzi reinstated? What do you think? Rozzi and Baldwin? Let me know your opinions down below, and please be sure to like, share, and subscribe this video so more people can see it, and so that you get more videos that align with what you like to see. So I hope to see you next time, and have a good one. Bye. All right, that was a longer one, but this